Hi guys, and welcome to another video about my equipment. In this video I'm not going to talk about so much of a review of the lens. I'm more going to talk about why I bought this lens and when am I using it. So let's dive into it right now. I have used Sigma 150 to 500, and that is an awesome, great mobile lens to carry around, and it's not that expensive as well. But ever since I started, I have wanted this lens here, and the main reason for that is the f4. It's letting in much more light than the Sigma, which is the lowest on 6.3 and 500 millimeter, and also the sharpness. The sharpness in this lens here is actually really good. You can see it all in the edges as well. That it's sharp all over the pictures, and has amazing result of crispiness, and yeah, you really see the details in feathers or in the fur for animals. And that is the main reason that I wanted to have a 500 f4. That is the f-stop and the sharpness of the lens. Of course, this is a heavy lens. It's much more heavier than the Sigma lens, but that's okay. For me, it's all about I wanted to have the extra sharpness and the details in the feathers. So yeah, I'm a little bit geeky about that, but yeah, that's me. So the other thing that I like really good about this lens here is the VR. The VR in the lens is actually pretty good. I have handheld this in low light and get really good results of it. I think I handheld it in 1/50 of a second or 100 of a second, and actually got sharp images. And that is really hard, because when you have 500 millimeter and you have a DX camera like the D500, it's more like a 750 millimeter, and that's really hard to hold still. So the VR really comes in hand here, and do a really great job. The times that I use this lens here is when I need that extra range. Especially if I'm out walking, looking for roe deer or red deer, or yeah, any animals. It's good to have that range, because you can then have a larger distance to the animal, and that's good for many things. You don't disturb the animal and get more of a chance to get behavior shots, and you also have a chance to come close to animals, even though it can be hard to sneak up on like the roe deer or red deer. They have really good hearing and really good smells. This lens here also works really good with the teleconverter, the 1.4 teleconverter, as long as you are calibrating it and the focus is spot on. It's really sharp. So I have used this a couple of times with teleconverter, especially small birds. I will show you some picture of what when I have used the teleconverter, so you can see how sharp it actually is. I use it on a wheather or a red shank. So yeah, it's really good image quality, even with a 1.4 converter. I also use this, like I said, when I'm photographing small birds, or if I'm photographing shorebirds, like if you have seen in the video with purple sandpiper. There I used the teleconverter as well, but I changed with it with and without teleconverter. But when you have like 750 millimeter without the teleconverter, and you have 1050 with the teleconverter, that's a lot of range, and therefore you can come much more closer, and you can get these tight shots, and you also blur the background much more. That is the main use for it. It's small birds, it's shorebirds or ducks as well. If the ducks is shy, you can come much more closer to them, or the animals. So unless like I'm in the height and I can control the distance of the birds or the animal, I'm using the 300 2.8, which is 450 to me with the DX camera. If I'm not in that height, in that situation that I can control it, I use the 500. And I also see the difference between the sharpness of the 300 and the 500. I feel that the depth of field is great, but also you can see that the bird is, you get so much details out of this lens here. Actually much more details than the 300 2.8. That is of course a really great lens as well, but yeah, I see that you get more details out of this lens here. Yeah. This is a cool lens. I'm gonna of course take this with me to Dovre when I'm gonna photograph the mask action. Then I need that range because I don't want to get that close to the animal, of course. But it's a heavy lens, and it's many times you have to hike for many hours before you find the animals. But it's okay. It doesn't bother me to carry this lens here when the result is that good that is in the 500. Of course, the price isn't that good. It's a bit pricey, but I actually got this on used for a really good price, and therefore I had the chance to buy this here. And it's not that the new Sigma, the new Tamron, is a bad lens in any way. I love this, and they are so much sharper than the first Sigma 150 and 500 that I used earlier. But you get more light in, and you also get that extra sharpness, especially wide open. Let's just talk a little bit about my accessories, because this lens here come with a hood, a really huge hood. It's a little bit bulky and takes a little bit space in the bag, but so I don't use that. I bought this type of hood here. This is a this is a neoprene with hard front here, so it covers and protects the front element here. I'm also using the neoprene protection for the lens itself, to protect it from scratches, or actually it's also like water resistant, so the water will bounce off better. And yeah, I like to protect my equipment. Not that much for camouflage, but I don't know how much it will camouflage the lens itself, but yeah, I use this for protection for the most of the time. You can see the link in the description below if you're interested in buying this one here yourself. You can find it in the description below. This is good. If you have some question about the lens, I got some comments in the last video for my 300 that you want to see some sample pictures, and of course I forgot that. I'm sorry, but you will see some picture on the way this video here, and yeah, you can see some sample pictures of this. This is the whole length of it. It's really good. It's not that heavy like the 600mm. That is a really heavy lens, but this is actually acceptable to handheld, and yeah, it's no problem to handheld this here. It's not that heavy. All right, like I said, leave me a comment down below if you have some questions, and I will try to answer them as good as possible. And until next time, I will see you guys.